I used to spend hours trying to get a smooth finish with a brush. Every coat took forever and it still looked streaky. Then I found this paint sprayer for under 60 bucks and it completely changed the game. I used to think paint sprayers were only for pros. You know, the people with huge garages, massive air compressors, and hours to spend figuring them out. I didn't want to deal with the mess or the hassle, and I definitely didn't want to spend hundreds of dollars just to see if I liked spraying. Then I found this sprayer. It cost less than $60, came with everything I needed, plugs right into the wall, and gave me a finish that looked 100 times better than anything I have ever got with a brush. If you're a beginner and you've been nervous about spraying, I get it. I felt the same way, but this thing made it simple. The first time I ever tried using a paint sprayer, I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't know how to thin the paint. Could I use water? Did I need mineral spirits? I had no idea. The first sprayer I bought actually needed an air compressor, and the air compressor that I had was so tiny, it could barely push out any air. It was useless. I spent hours testing the paint, adjusting things, making a huge mess, and still couldn't get it to spray. Then I bought another sprayer. This one was a Wagner, and it was actually for stain. So it wasn't strong enough. The only way I could spray chalk paint was if I thinned the paint down so much that it barely felt like paint anymore. I had to measure every ounce of water because the sprayer just didn't have the power to handle thicker paints. I stuck with spraying though because brushing took forever, and honestly, I still preferred the sprayed on finish over brushing, even if it did take me an extra 10 minutes to get it set up. Guys, think about it. One dresser can take over an hour just to brush on one coat of paint. And even then, the finish has brush strokes all over it, and it just does not look the best. Oh, and brushing on a top coat, it always turns hazy and looks streaky, which drives me crazy. Once I figured out how to use the right sprayer, how to thin the paint properly, how to clean it quickly, and these few simple tricks to keep it from clogging, spraying became my favorite tool. I honestly could never go back to brushing. It just takes way too long, and the results can't even compare. This sprayer is perfect because it does not need an air compressor. Let me repeat it for you in the back. This sprayer does not need an air compressor, and it's not complicated. Setup takes 5 minutes. Pour your paint, plug it in, adjust the nozzle, and you are ready to go. It sprays an even, smooth coat in a fraction of the time brushing would take. Even projects like a whole dresser or a whole set of cabinets can be done in 10 minutes per coat. And cleaning it is way easier than scrubbing out brushes. You just run water through it, rinse the parts, and it's done in about 5 to 10 minutes. For small and medium projects, this thing is perfect. You can absolutely do a whole kitchen with it. It can handle cabinets and furniture very easily. What it's not for is painting walls in your house or trying to spray thick paint onto a large fence. But for furniture, cabinets, and smaller projects, it's fantastic. It is so good. If you're tired of guessing how to thin your paint, how to set this up, or how to keep it from clogging, I've got a beginner-friendly mini spray class that shows you everything step by step. How to get a flawless finish, what mistakes to avoid, and how to save yourself hours of trial and error. I'll link it up above and down below so you can check it out. Spraying completely changes how your furniture turns out. When I spray, the paint levels itself out as it dries, so the finish ends up buttery smooth, almost like it was factory made. It doesn't just look better up close, it feels different too. When you run your hand across it, there aren't ridges or rough spots like you get with a brush. Even on furniture with tons of grooves, edges, or details, spraying lays the paint down evenly without pooling or leaving thick edges around the edges. That is the worst. I hate all of the thick paint on the edges. With a brush, I'd always fight these little drag lines or end up with spots where the paint dried unevenly. Spraying also lets me apply thin, even coats, which dry so much faster than heavy brushed on layers. And since the paint isn't as thick, It's less likely to chip or peel later, which actually makes your finish more durable long term. And the overall look, it's what takes your furniture from a DIY project to something you could actually see in a showroom. I've actually had people ask me if my pieces came straight from a high-end store, just because that smooth, professional finish makes a huge difference. Switching to a paint sprayer completely changed how my makeovers turn out. It saves me hours of work, it's beginner friendly, and it makes my projects look professional instead of DIY. If you want to skip the frustration and finally get that smooth, high-end finish, grab my free cheat sheet and check out my mini spray class below. It'll help you start spraying without all of the mistakes I made in the beginning. And if you want to see how this dresser actually turned out, you'll want to stick around. In the next video, I'm showing you the full transformation from the scratched up $50 Facebook Marketplace find to a piece that looks like it came from the high-end West Elm. Tap right here to watch it.